Welcome back to Real Estate 101. I'm your host, Joe Terceira, and today we're going to continue our discussion on financial planning, specifically job loss and pensions. And I'm pleased to be joined once again by Gregory of Desjardins Financial. Jeff, welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Joe. Pleasure to be here.
So Jeff, tell me, what is a retiring allowance?
Retiring allowance is unfortunately a topic I wish I didn't have to talk about. It's one of two things. It's either a company giving somebody a lump sum of money for a long time of service, or what has been the more common, commonly known as a severance sometimes, or through a penalty. Could be through job loss, settlement, and or sick leave benefits that haven't been claimed.
Okay.
But a lot of times severance seems to be the most common thing. So it's, you're no longer employed, the company gives you some money saying thank you for your time of service, good luck in your future endeavors, and here's a lump sum of money, and now you figure out what to do with it.
All right. So how does someone prevent it from being taxed or being taxed?
There are a couple ways, but the more common way is to make sure that people have some RSP room. If you have eligible RSP room, you can put the money into your RSPs up to the amount of the severance. There is one little catch. You are able to, if you were with your company prior to 1996, you're able to put $2,000 of that severance away in your RSP and not have an RSP room. So if you've been starting with your company since 1993, you'd be able to move about $4,000 into the RSP. That doesn't count against your room. So there are some ways that you can ensure you control the tax element of your severance payout.
Okay. Now, can someone get their pension too?
Yes, they can. As long as their pension has been vested, they're able to get their pension and move it out and manage it themselves, or manage it through a financial advisor, planner, anywhere that can give them some sound financial advice on what to do with it.
Okay, so what is vesting or locking in?
Vesting is the time period needed so that the person can take the money out. So when somebody puts in a pension, their money into the pension, that money is available at any time. But when the employer puts money into the pension, it has to be there at least 2 years. After the 2-year period and you leave your job, then you can get the employer's money. Previous to that, if you leave before the 2 years, you get yours, they get theirs, everyone goes back.
All right. Okay, so another term that I've heard of is, I'm still not familiar with, what exactly is commuted value?
Commuted value is what the value of the pension, your pension, will be. It has a dollar amount. So if it's there's two types of pension. There's a defined contribution or defined benefit.
All right.
Defined benefits aren't around too much more. Typically, government workers seem to be the last people who have these type of things. But defined contribution would be what you put in, what the company has put in, and what it's made. That would be the vesting. If you have a defined benefit plan, there's a big actuarial number and some, I think they use NASA scientists or something to figure out this calculated number, and then they'll say, here's what the value of your plan is. But that's what the commuted value is dollar for dollar how much you got available.
All right. So what are some of the options available in regards to someone's pension?
If you leave or you're let go from your company, you can transfer the pension either to another pension plan. If you are another employer that has a pension, you can transfer it to a locked-in retirement account. Because it's a pension, the government forces you to keep it locked in. You can't access it as you want. It could be moved to a locked-in income fund or a life annuity.
Okay.
So it's there for retirement only.
All right. So are there any things to consider when it comes to transferring your pension?
You want to make sure the paperwork's right. In this world, if the paperwork's not right, in my world, then it can be a lot of hassle and so forth. But you want to make sure that you can access it and make it flexible and so forth once you receive it. You don't want to have it more locked if you don't have to. So making sure that you do everything properly that best suits you and get the proper information is very, very important when dealing with your pension.
Okay, now is it hard to transfer? Is it hard to move?
Actually, not too hard, believe it or not. Once you get the information, it depends on the company situation more than anything. If the company has gone into bankruptcy, sometimes pension transfers I've done for clients have taken over 3 years to happen by the time that they allow for the pension to be available.
Right.
And if somebody is let go, I've received the pension in 3 weeks. So depending on the company, it's not hard, it's just a bit of paperwork. It's more important of what the money is now designed to do for you.
Okay.
That is the bigger focus.
Okay, so for today's final question, how and when can someone use their pension?
They can use their pension, according to Ontario law, they have to use their locked-in monies by at least age 55. That's the minimum.
Right.
They can hold off until age 71. There are instances when you can access the money earlier, such as if you have a dire straits situation, medical reasons and so forth. So you do have the ability to get into your pension early. And as well, for those who are over 55 and they have locked-in money, you can actually split it out so you don't have to have it all locked in. There are a lot of very, very unique situations available now that weren't available previous to 2008. And speaking about every individual's situation is going to be very imperative to make sure the advice is exactly what they need.
All right, Jeff. Thanks a lot for coming on today's show.
My pleasure. Thanks, Joe.
We'll see you again next month.
I look forward to it.
If anybody has any more questions or would like more information on financial planning or pensions, they can get in contact with Jeffrey Gregory at Desjardins Financial. Thanks for watching. I'm your host, Joe Terceira, and we'll see you next time.